So I'm going to review some two-step equations, solving two-step equations. Example 1, if it helps, put a line to separate the sides where the equal sign is. So what we're trying to do is get x by itself. So what we're going to do is take away get rid of the numbers that's farthest away from x first. So since this is multiplying together, we're going to keep those together, and we're going to get rid of this minus 24 first. And to do that, we do the opposite. So we're going to add 24, and what we do to one side, we have to do to the other. So what that does is eliminates those two, and we bring down the 11x, and then 24 plus 9 is 33. So now we still have something we need to get rid of, and that's the 11. This is being multiplied, 11 times x. So in order to solve that, you have to do the opposite. Opposite or inverse operation of multiply is divide. So when you divide both sides by 11, that gives you x equals 3. So you could go back up here, plug it in to the equation, 11 times 3, and then subtract 24, and it should give you 9. Number 2 looks a little different. Some people see a fraction bar and start to panic a little. Try not to panic with fractions. You have to ask yourself, what are we going to get rid of first? And since the 7 is up here with the a, we're going to get rid of it last. Remember, like up here, we got rid of the 11 last. So we're going to get rid of the 8 first. And what this is telling us is we're dividing by 8. So the inverse operation of divide by 8 is multiply. So we're going to multiply both sides by 8. And what that does is it eliminates that denominator. And we're going to bring down the a plus 7. And then 5 times 8 is 40. Now we can get rid of the 7 because that's all that's left. And the inverse operation of plus 7 is minus 7. So again, we're going to do it to both sides. And then 40 minus 7 is 33. Again, we could go back up here, plug it in. 33 plus 7 divided by 8 should give you 5, and it does. Example 3, I'm going to skip for just a second because it's a little bit more complicated. And I'm going to go on to example 4. Here we are. Sorry. Okay. Here we're going to get rid of the 4 first because the 3 is the closest to the k. So to get rid of 4, the inverse operation of plus 4 would be a minus 4 on both sides. So that eliminates that. So we're going to bring this down. K divided by 3 equals, and since both of these are negative, we're going to add them together and keep the sign. Negative 16 and another negative 4 would be a negative 20. Now we're going to do the inverse operation of divided by 3. The opposite of dividing by 3 is multiply by 3. So we can do it like that with parentheses. That cancels that out. So now we're left with k equals 3 times negative 20 is a negative 60. Again, plug it in, divide, add the 4, and you should get negative 16. Now, sometimes the variable is on the right-hand side of the equation. Don't let that mess you up. If it helps to rewrite it, you can. This is the same exact thing. 6m minus 4 equals a negative 34. Same thing, just reverse it. So I'm going to go ahead and do it this side just to help you out in case you want to leave it there. So over here is where the m is. So we have to get rid of everything on that side except for the m. So I'm going to get rid of the minus 4 first because the 6 and the m are super close, and multiplication on this one would be the last step. So the inverse operation of minus 4 would be a plus 4. Eliminates those. 6m comes down. If you are in the hole $34 and somebody gives you $4, then you're still in the hole $30, or negative 34 plus 4. And then finally, to get rid of that, since it's being multiplied, we're going to do the inverse, which is divide, and that gives you m equals negative 5. So going back to example 3, this one says we're going to solve for x, and the first thing that stands out to me is that we have an a on the bottom. So we have a variable here and a variable here. Pretend, or let's just play it out like it's a number. So just keep that in the back of your mind for a second and let's start working it out. So we have a -4. The inverse of that is +4. So now those are gone. And I have 1 over a, or basically 1x over a, equals, and that's a 9 plus 4 is a 13. Now, in order to get x by itself, and it's already a 1x, so we could basically just say x, we have to get rid of the a. Now, if that was a number, it would be like divided by 10 or divided by 20. So it's just divided by a, so the inverse of that is to multiply by a. So those are gone. 1x is the same thing as x, so we're good. That's what we wanted. And then 13 times a, we can't put those together except to just put 13a. So again, don't let fractions mess you up. If it helps, let me give you another little hint here. K divided by 3 plus 4 equals -16. If it helps to get rid of that fraction or get rid of that denominator, you can do that by doing this. Multiplying everything all the way across by 3. And that would get rid of that. And then you would have K plus this and this multiply together. And then you could work it out and you'd get the same answer. You'd still get a -60. Again, two-step equations.